Hi, this is Jay. This is my GoFundMe video for my off-grid homestead project that I'm working on. I think I found a piece of property that I want to buy. I do have almost enough for the down payment, very close to it. So I'm not worried about the down payment so much. I've found a place that is will do owner financing, so that's really great. So I'm good there with buying the land. I hope. As long as nothing falls through, anyway. Um, but my real issues are, yeah, I know this sounds funny, but it's something as simple as having a chainsaw that I can actually pull start because, again, I lost this shoulder in a car accident about 5, 6, 7 years ago. I'm having to buy a chainsaw that will actually work because what this land is it is 10 acres at an extremely good price that is heavily, heavily wooded. And when I say heavily wooded, I'm talking, it probably was at one time, pasture land, and it was let go back to, something that resembles a natural state in that it has, it's literally covered in cedars. And so there's really, two ways to get it cleared off, and you really need to do both. And of course, one is the chainsaw, and that's to cut down and get rid of as much as you possibly can of the smaller ones. Well, there's actually three ways. If I can find someone who's willing to log the cedars, and I would gladly give them away if somebody was willing to log them. But the smaller cedars, which there's billions, they can be used for fence posts and what have you. But you still have to have a chainsaw to cut them down. I over the last several years since I lost my shoulder, have tried desperately to use things like electric chainsaws, and they don't work worth a crap. So I found a still that I want to buy, and that's going to cost me almost $800. I'm sure by the time I get all the little bells and whistles that go with it that they insist you must have, it'll be over $800. But at any rate, that's one of the first things I need is the chainsaw. And I've actually written out a budget. I actually thought I was going to get a piece of land for under $10,000. I'm not, so that has kind of changed my budget. But you cut where you have to, and I'm not going on my budget over $50,000. Period. If I can't get something done within that budget, then it just won't get done. That's all there is to it. At any rate, basically what any funds that I'm able to raise will go toward is things like building the cabin, putting in the workshop/garage, and clearing the land is really what it boils down to. There's probably not, I did not put into my budget a place that didn't have a spring, and this place does not have a spring. The other place I was looking at did have a spring, but it's also too far away. It would kill my car to have to drive like that to work all the time. So that's basically it. It's literally clearing the land, getting the actual home site. So I'm having somebody come in and grade the home site for the cabin to be put on, and the space where the actual workshop garage would be. And all these things are tiny. Don't get me. I'm not building a mansion. This is a 16 by 16 two-story Dutch barn I'm putting in. The garage will probably not be more than 20 by 20, maybe 20 by 30, and it'll be a garage, workshop, and storage, of course. I already have the money to put in my solar electric system, my solar panels. I already have the money for the solar panels. I don't have the money for the batteries, but that's only going to be about $1,000 for the batteries. I do have a job. So every penny I make that I don't need to actually physically survive goes into, I have a little fund over here And I literally just keep adding to it. Every week I put more and more and more into it. And that's how I came up with the money for the down payment. I just kept saving and saving and saving, and living extremely frugally. I live frugally anyway, so but I've just lived even more frugally, trying to get this together because again, the Bank of America has taken my house. Well, I'm still living in it, but they actually put it on the market and sold it. And there's some guy who wants to rent me my own house, and I'm like, no, I've been here 15 years. I am not paying you rent for my own home that I just put $70,000 cash money into, that I wouldn't have done if I knew the Bank of America was going to pull some number like me. In fact, they didn't have my mortgage when I did all that, and I just got caught up in that robo loan stuff, and lost my home like millions of other people lost their homes to this shady bankster crap. So, and honestly, it was through no fault of anybody. None of us were behind on our mortgage payments. Well, I'm sure somebody was, but I wasn't. That's for sure. But they absolutely refused to honor the contracts, which they were supposed to. It was in the contract that if the contract was sold, if the mortgage was sold, they had to honor it, and they didn't. They needed us to They needed us to foreclose. They needed to foreclose on us, all of us, because they took out huge mortgage insurance on these properties. And in order for them to collect those huge mortgage insurance policies, they needed us to foreclose. So they forced millions of people into foreclosure, and I just happened to be one of them. So I can't take it too personally, right? At any rate, this is just to kind of give you an idea of what I need and why I need the money. And honestly, right now, something as simple as getting that chainsaw is something I desperately need. It's going to be impossible for me to move my my RV, which is what I'm going to have to live in while I'm building it. It's not a great RV either. It's not something you can live in winter. So if I don't get that cabin up and get the insulation and all that kind of stuff put in by winter, I'm going to have to find some place to live, because it's too cold here to live in that little, really it's a spring, summer, early fall kind of RV. But at any rate, yeah, that's what's going on. That's what I need. Anything you can give is great. But especially here where we live, we're very poor here. We don't have a lot of money. We don't make a lot of money. So I'm not expecting tons and tons and tons out of, y'all here. Okay, I've lived here 23 years, I know. But if you could share it with your friends. Share it on your Facebook. If you have Twitter, share it on Twitter. Anything, because you know what? Every $5-10 that somebody's willing to donate helps. Every little bit. And that's really where I'm at with that. I just, whatever I can get. This has taken a lot for me to even put this up, because I'm a pretty self-sufficient person, and it's disheartening to me that there's a lot of things I can't do anymore. I only earn just so much money, and I need help. Period. I need help, and I hate admitting that, but I do. I can't do this alone. I just can't. So I need you folks out there, and the community in the world that can see your way through for 5, 10, whatever you can give. More is always better, but I get it. I give when I can too, simply because I know what it is to be hurting and needing. So anyway, whatever you can do, share it, please. Please share this with people. That's the one thing I would ask of you guys is share. Please share, because you may not be able to give, or what you can give may not be very much, but you never know. When it gets shared, somebody may who can afford it, can give a little more. But at any rate, so I thank you all in advance. Of course, I'll be thanking you as it comes along, as the donations come along. But in the meantime, whatever you see in your heart, if it touches you, awesome. I just need your help. And I thank you very much. Peace and blessings to everyone.